and welcome to The One Show live on BBC Two and iPlayer with Alex Jones.
And Ronan Keating. Now, the Russian invasion in Ukraine continues to dominate the headlines today. But for the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you something a bit lighter, with a show full of surprises and incredible stories.
Yes, I have to say thank you for your lovely comments from yesterday's show at Buckingham Palace. Well, we were there to launch the ballot for tickets for the Platinum Jubilee concert. It was amazing. Highlight for me, Al. You in the royal kitchens making those tarts.
I tell you what, it was such a privilege.
Oh, that was epic.
Such an experience. A recipe's online if anybody wants
so
it.
good.
But I tell you what, everybody loved your performance in the music room. It was
What an honour.
And you looked like a little boy, so happy to be there.
I was. It was a massive moment for me. I mean, to get that opportunity and chance to sing was brilliant.
It was a pinch myself moment for both of us,
bucket
wasn't
list.
it?
Yeah, very cool.
Nice. Now, if you missed yesterday's show and want to find out about all the ways you can get involved in the Queen's Jubilee, remember you can watch it again on iPlayer.
Yes. Now, on tonight's show, he's the Geordie taxi driver who pulled off the robbery of the century by stealing a priceless painting. Now, we'll uncover how his story has now been transformed into a Hollywood film that'll be in cinemas tomorrow.
And from one of the most wanted men to one of the most sought-after cookery duos. But tonight, hairy biker star Dave Myers is riding solo for a very special reason. He heads to Dorset to visit a motorbike fanatic, making a real difference in his community. Don't miss the moment. We surprise him with a one big thank you. It's pretty good.
Yep. Now, we're also serving up some brilliant guests this evening. One's a master chef, taskmaster and Michelin star restaurant owner, and the other knows all about star status, having been part of one of the biggest bands in the 80s. It's Marcus Waring and Martin Kemp. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, we're keeping it in the family because, Marcus, we were with your co-star, Monica, yesterday. And, Martin, your son, Roman, was with us at Buckingham
I
Palace.
saw him.
Looking smart as
We
well, he
believe there was an emergency dad call.
Yeah, well, in the afternoon, he called me and he said, Dad, I've got to go to Buckingham Palace. He said, have you got a tie? Now, me and Ro have apartments in the same block. So I said, go into my apartment, let yourself in and find a tie. Open the drawers. So I turned back up there, right? In the evening, it is like as if it has been robbed. It is, the drawers are hanging out, the wardrobe's open, stuff on the bed. Honestly, I nearly called the police.
Yeah, but he still had no tie.
I know.
Amazing.
That's great.
Now, we are loving, because you're renovating this house.
Yeah.
And we're following you on Instagram. And you're kind of documenting the journey along with your wife, Shirley. Now, you seem to not be able to agree over what gets skipped and what doesn't. So we're just going to show this little clip that you've put on social media. Here it is.
You are not putting it back in the garden, I'll tell you that.
Oh, please don't throw it.
You're not, no,
This
it's going
is
on the skip.
architectural salvage.
No, it's going on the skip.
No. That'd be great to grow roses up. Clematis.
Gone. That is gone.
I'm going to get that out.
Who won the battle?
I want to throw everything, right? I'm a big clearer outer. Shirley cannot throw anything. She thinks, the more cupboards you build, the more stuff you buy to put in them. And she cannot throw anything away. And that's kind of like sums it up.
You can relate to this, can't you?
We're the same.
Hey, there you go.
Exactly the same. Everything's at home. Kids just don't want to they keep everything. And the cupboards are full. They're full. But I just love tidiness. Everything has to be immaculate.
See, I can't think straight unless everything's tidy.
like that.
Yeah.
I can't put it in order.
Cooking's the same.
Yeah.
You can't cook around a mess. You've got to be tidy. When I go into the kitchen at home to cook, I clear it all down, I wash up, clear the sink out, make sure the dishwasher's got space, and then I just want to enjoy my cooking. It's the way I've always worked, and that just rubs off on you. You just can't change when you're like that.
Excellent. And now we'll be talking to Marcus about why he's taken off his chef whites and Now, he is rock music royalty, and at the fabulous age of 80, Sir Paul McCartney is set to become Glastonbury's oldest headline act, which just goes to show you that when it comes to talent, age is just a number. Hey, Al?
I'm going to kill you.
And this is something, Martin, you've been proving on your new BBC show, Rock Till We Drop. Tell us about it.
It's absolutely one of the best things I've ever done, right?
Yeah.
Me and Lady Alicia, we put together two bands, but the bands are in their kind of 70s, 80s and 90s, right? Wow. And we promised them that if we can get it together, we will take them to play the Isle of Wight Festival. And this happened last summer. And it is one of the it was one of the best things I've ever done because it was kind of making someone's dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been there as musicians where you wake up in the morning, you know, and you stare up at being a kid and you stare up at the posters on your bedroom wall and you think, I want to be there. I want to be Bowie. I want to be Slade or whoever it was, Elvis Presley. And so what we were doing is trying to give these guys, these musicians, a chance. And, you know, they had started off on the same journey as us, but by a sliding doors moment, life had taken them in a different direction and they missed it. So we're trying to give that back to them.
And as you say, this is genuinely last chance saloon kind of stuff. And we've got some footage of you watching the auditions. And Martin, you get a bit emotional. So let's have a look.
Audition tapes start to come in thick and fast from all over the country.
I'm tired of lockdown. Everyone is.
Music is what saved me.
Music pulls you through. Music's going to wipe the tears away.
It gets me watching these tapes because just knowing what these guys have been through, you know, during the pandemic, you know, and how they've felt so isolated. What we're trying to do here is use music to give them back their best lives. But that's true, you know, that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to give them something that they thought they would never see, never. And we know what that experience is like.
Absolutely, you get a
playing
taste of
to like 100,000 people in a festival is an incredible experience.
Amazing.
All that love coming at you at once is unbelievable. And to give that to somebody else was brilliant.
Well, as Al said, it's kind of last chance saloon for a lot of them. It must have been very hard to turn them down at the auditions.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really difficult. Well, I mean, some of them that came along, well, I wanted to choose all of them, to be honest, you know, but there was some better than others and some fitted better than others in the idea of the bands that me and Lady Leisha wanted, because we both had ideas in our head what we wanted our bands to sound like. So it was, but along the way, you know, you bend and it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to turn out. But there were some interesting moments in taking these guys who, you know, weren't best mates and found themselves in a band together. They were put together in a band later on in life, and they found the difficulties in being in a band as well, which was putting all those egos together. And there were a few kind of alphas that had to battle it out.
Well, I mean, so we don't want to spoil it because people are going to see this very shortly, but we can reveal that one of the people who made it into the band, Marcus, was Eileen from Aberdeen. It's got a ring to it, hasn't it? And do you know what? We can go live to Eileen in Aberdeen right now. Evening, Eileen. How are you?
Hey, Eileen.
Hi, Eileen.
Surprise.
Well, we have to say congratulations, first of all. What an experience. What would you like to say to Martin then, Eileen?
I would like to say thank you, a very big thank you to Martin for the wonderful opportunity of taking us to the Isle of Wight to play there. It was a tremendous opportunity. And to all of his team, Toby Chapman and all the others who helped me. But it was especially to you, Martin, for the opportunity.
Absolutely my pleasure. You know, when we first got together and I said to Eileen and all the guys who turned out for the auditions, I said, if we can put together a band, we play the Isle of Wight on a sunny afternoon to a packed 60,000 people on the field. It will be a moment in time you will never forget. That's what we tried to get, wasn't it?
So, Eileen, tell us all now then, Eileen, what instrument did you play in the band?
I played keyboards. I play piano and keyboards. So I played keyboards in the band, but I also did backing vocals, which was lovely too. I enjoyed that.
Amazing.
Yes. I love my piano.
Eileen was my secret weapon, right? She was absolutely brilliant. She was like the MD of the band. And she would control it. Because halfway through the show, when we were filming, I got COVID. I had to have 10 days off. And Eileen just took it on and ran with it. She was
brilliant.
superb.
Eileen, we hear that the show gave you your confidence back. Is that true?
Well, last year, I've always been blessed with good health. But last year I had an operation which came out of the blue. And of course, just after that, we actually were in the middle of COVID too. So the musicians weren't playing, not many gigs were going on. But this gave me my mojo back. It really did. My confidence back. It was wonderful.
It really did. And, you know, we spoke before Eileen went on stage, and I said, it was really interesting because you know about Dr. Theatre, right? That thing, that adrenaline that you get before you go on theatre, on a stage that covers up all sorts of pain. And I said to Eileen, for that 10 minutes you are on, you will feel no pain. It will not be there. You will forget the operation and the aches and pains that you've had over, you know, however long. And it was absolutely superb, wasn't it?
Well,
That was lovely.
Well, Eileen, it's been a real privilege and a pleasure to have you on The One Show tonight. And we look forward, Martin, as well, to seeing the show. Yes, Rock Till We Drop begins Tuesday night, 9 o'clock on BBC Two and on the iPlayer.
All right, still